Right, so Friday was absolutely what I had hoped it would be. I wish the silver stocks moved a little bit more. I was looking for double digits, but I'm not going to complain. It was a good day. It was exactly what I'd actually hoped for. Since my last video, gold had held very well and it was climbing. It was proving very, very strong defensively. We're on this ascending line. Yes, it gets scary at low of day. It looks bad, but it holds. It's about the daily close. And honestly, this held up well. The miners got crushed, huh? But they held up also. And on these rebound days, they did very well. And it didn't surprise me that silver helped gold out. And it kind of took turns, it was like pass the baton a little bit. And it's exactly what I'd actually thought would happen, where silver helps gold and then gold sort of takes it by itself. I always start off with gold. Actually, normally I start off with a dollar and interest rates, but it doesn't really matter. It's really just commodities on their own. Silver's doing its own thing because it's on its own independent chart breakout pattern right now. But they help each other out. So gold for me, this little level here is nice. If only we close a little bit higher, it would have changed a few things. But I think silver now is going to hit 40. Right, you're gonna see a four next to the silver price next week. That's what I really think. I think early Monday, Tuesday, doesn't matter. Gold will end up going towards this level here. For me, this is actually maybe the most important level for gold, 3,400. Once you close on a daily candle above there, you will go there. And if you start visiting this area, you will break out. And if you break out, okay, here you could touch, you can go back down, you will go to new highs. So I feel like silver, and this is kind of the story of this week. I forgot exactly the pattern, but it was the same thing. It's like silver's move up is helping gold rise, and by gold rising a little bit more, it gets out of this area and it takes out, closes above, the high of day of this ugly candle that took us all the way down. So this negates this. This move down has been destroyed. And now the bias is to the upside, and you zoom out, you look at it, and wow, it was obvious, right? Well, not obvious at the time, but now it looks super strong. And a move up here, this is strong. This is like confirmation we're not breaking down. It's off medium term, long term support, medium term support, and then bam. I don't know. Translation, gold looks strong now. It didn't look strong 3, 4 days ago. And it's because of silver, in my opinion, not only because of silver, but like 80%. Silver looks like an absolute monster. Look at this, that ugly candle. Next day, and that's what really excited me. Look at this engulfing, like get out of here, closes way above that. And this was obvious, but I mean, that's a breakout candle. That is that is clearing the 37.5, right? I always said it was 37.5, and during the day I could zoom in on the 1 minute. You'll see it was 37.5. As soon as we took it out, we ran up. I hear other people talking about 38 and all this stuff. No, no, no. It was 37.5, and the next candle, by the way, everyone's gonna start getting excited and all this stuff. I've already said it's actually I don't know if I said okay, there's several. 40 is not a level. It's just a psychological number. Yes, we'll stop there for a few minutes, take pictures, and then we'll go higher. For me, even 40, it's like this level here, right? 42. Now, the first time we visit, we'll probably go past 42. I see this, the high of these areas, 42.5 for me. 42.5, then 43, then 44. Those are levels 42.5, 43, 44. There'll be some chop. We're not allowed to go in one go, but once we go there and we start to go back and forth, the levels I think that'll become more prominent are those 42.5, 43, 44. But I mean, that's still quite a move from where we are, right? I mean, thing is, this is a moment everyone's been waiting for. We've had silver disappoint many times. The 30 level, remember the 30 level? We took that out. Then it was sort of, it was back and forth, 35. We took that out, and now it's 37 point. We took that out. What about 50? Well, that's coming because gold's taken out 2000 a while ago. In fact, gold's up almost 100% since taking that out. So silver will, I think, go up here. Let's just take it easy as it happens. This is a historic day, I reckon. Friday, plus it's a weekly candle close. I'm not going to bother showing you the weekly candle. You know what it looks like. It's high of day. It's extreme bullish. That's why I think gold is going to go up too, because silver is not done, and it's literally stuck in no man's land. If the market continued, it just would have ended up going higher. So next stop is 40. All right, it's not 39. 39 will be a little, 3 minute thing maybe. But I see 40 for psychological reasons, but not technical. So I think we keep going. I'm not sure, maybe 40.5, if you remember that. So silver, there's nothing really to say other than higher. The stocks, wait, before I go to the stocks, maybe let's look at this level once more. I never do this, but let's just look at it as if we were really, because we're here, this blue line, right? We're 38 point something, high of day close, 40, obviously. We may go a little higher. That's why I say 40.5 maybe. All right, then we come back down, and there's your first red candle on the daily on silver. Maybe we go back down, dip into the 39s, and go back up, and then there's no 41. There's no 41. 40.5 is just because these little candles here on the daily. So 40, 40.5, and then 42, but actually 42.5 the first time you visit it, and then 43. That's why I'm looking, when I zoom in, it becomes a bit more obvious. And there's your 50. It doesn't look so scary or high, right? Once you take out 44, you retrace, then you close above 44, and then bam, you start to move, and the first stop will be here, 48. Look at that, right? And then after 48, back and forth from 48 down, back down to 45 or whatever, or maybe not. It's just absolute squeeze. Then it's going to be 49. Then it's going to be not 50, but 49 point, here, 8 probably. So I'd be selling at 49.78 just to get that. And I nailed that every time, by the way. And I was also selling here back in it was like the first best trade I did. I did sell some silver, not all of it, but I did sell. I thought 50 was a high and I sold before. I knew that whole numbers are never sold into, even back then. And if we start to take out 50, then I can just enter the spectator field and guess like you. But probably I'd be trimming at 60, 70, 80, 90, and then 100. I don't know, let's see. But right now it's absolutely wonderful. Now, I don't own silver, I own silver stocks. So let's go to the stocks. Starting off with GDX. GDX was okay. The gold seniors didn't move that much, right? First of all, I saw like some 0.5% move, 1%, 1.5%. What is that? While silver stocks were doing basically 7 or 8%, at least the ones I'm in. GDX, you can see it's slow. It's silver. It's the juniors that are running, or the mid tiers, I would say. It's not gold and it's not the senior gold stocks. All right, so they had a little 1 or 2% day at best, whilst the silvers had an absolute fiesta. So for me, next stop, it sounds really weak and pathetic saying it, but 53 on GDX, you need to clear this area. And if you remember gold, it's really about gold going to 34. Let's see gold. It's really about gold going to 3,400. All right, once gold's there and it's closed there-ish, that's when you can see the seniors start to get excited. I think that equates to 50, maybe a bit more than 53 because it's miners, they move more. But 53, and then you can go straight past 54 and start testing your 55 again. So you need sort of 2 good days, you need gold at 3,400. That's the basics of it. Now GDXJ has a few more. You can see it's already there, right? It didn't, you can see that level. I mean, I don't need to draw it. Sometimes I feel like I just don't need to draw it all, but right, you need one good day and you're back at the old highs, and that will help drag GDX up. They all help each other. It's like on the way down, they don't do each other favors by dragging each other down. But here, I can imagine silver going up. This goes up a bit more because there's maybe 1 or 2 little silver stocks in there. I don't really know the basket of this. It's not really a juniors one either. It's like mid tiers, but I think silver going up, continuing to go up Monday, Tuesday will help this go up. This will help GDX up. That will help gold up. And once you see gold cross 3,400, then the GDX will move up on its own and also help the silver stock. So I really do see a continued breakout. It's just 1 or 2 days behind silver. Now let's check silver, and they both look pretty identical. SIL, this is the senior ones. Total breakout, right? Not the strong. Actually, it is quite strong. It's a gap up. It's 3.5%. That's okay for seniors. Now let's look at the levels because we knew this was coming. I've got the high of here. That's around 51.4-ish. All right. Tomorrow, Monday, we'll test it. Probably keep crossing over it. Keep going with steamroll, and 53 is your next level. All right, 51.4, 51.5, whatever. 53, I like. Nice numbers, easy to remember. And then 54.4, probably, the high of here. That's how I do it. It's really simple. The daily high that stands out. Just boom, boom, boom. It's a bit of an art, but it's not the hardest thing. And then after that, I don't see anything. There's probably a gap here. We'll get to that later. 60, yeah, big number. I can already guarantee that one. Something like this. But that's actually, it looks far away, but we'll be surprised how fast we get there. By next week, you may end up testing 54, and then that 60 number is the next one to look out for. Beautiful. I love when you zoom out of a chart to see the next level. That's very bullish stuff. Sil J, remember when it was down here a few weeks ago? I remember saying, how the hell is it going to end up going and testing the highs? We need a big move in silver, and it was hard to imagine. I was just saying it without imagining really what it implies. But there you go, massive move, up, up, up. It started to run and outperform, and now we've got silver breaking out, and Silver J's breaking out. A nice move too, 4.5%. All right, I'd expect a bit more, but I think sometimes you get the biggest moves when you don't expect it. And here there's a lot of built-in, I think a lot of people could see Silver's breakout. Pretty obvious to me the last couple of days. And maybe that's when you start to dream a bit too much. But it's probably the continuation next week where you get the biggest moves. Like everyone, the hedge funds, everyone's looking at charts now, right? It's what you do on Saturday mornings after watching some cartoons with the kids. And they're obviously, if silver's going to move to 40s, 50s, this needs to go to new highs. And if you look at the underlying stocks, like 2011 was when we really made the highs, right? So it should be way anyway, we'll get to the individual stocks, but you start looking at EXK, CDE, Heckler, and all this, you know that they're massively under-owned. Silver stocks are just such a massive buy even after the move. Next stop for me here is around 16.4 pre-gap, post-gap, little levels. I think that's easily attainable, by the way, next week. Look at that, 4% is not even what we did on Friday, and I think there's bigger moves next week. So I've still got these levels, pre-gap, post-gap, and then you've got this descending, gee, 17.5 stands out a bit, but then you've got this descending move. But this is just still J. I've got quite a few silver stocks. I've got like seven, and I'm watching quite a few charts. I don't have the time to really analyze SILJ. I have SILJ up actually. That's one of them. It's replaced GDX at least the last 2 days. But I don't always have the time to watch SILJ's long-term descendings. The individual stocks that I'm in have their own charts, but this is a good general barometer, and this little gap zone could end up being an interesting level to play with alongside the individual stocks next week. Let's look at the portfolio, starting off with the boring seniors that didn't move much, but Newmont looks really ready to go. This 60 level, it's. I actually trimmed on Friday. I sold a bit of silver stocks, tiny bit, like little 5% stuff, because I like to sell on breakout in case it fails. Even as it was succeeding, actually, I still sold into it because some of them are just worth too much. But even the gold stocks, I just said, okay, in case the move is reversed, let me trim. So Newmont is completely trimmed to basically 6K. That's my maximum holding value. It was worth 6.4. I just said, okay, out 6K, and it's ready to go. So if it fails, which I do not see happening at all, then I'll be happy. And if it continues, cool. That's the whole plan, that it continues. It's ready to go. Next level I've got is 63.69. I think my sell, just a little sell there, little tiny cut, and then it goes up there, tiny cut. It's the usual thing. I cut on every level up move, right? On the next technical resistance of every level up. Level up is like 3, 4, 5%, just a little cut, like a little $100 out. And you got 20 different miners, and they all have a little $100 sell. You got 2K on the small move, and you probably made 4K that day. So it's beautiful. It's worked for over 1.5 decades. Barrett Gold, not as ready as Newmont, maybe one day away, but there's continuation. $3,400 gold. We're going to keep going. Next level for me, obviously, after taking out the recent high around here, is, it's this level, but my sell is for this one here. I'm looking for 23.39, I think, on Barrack. That's my next trim. Otherwise, I'm happy to hold. It deserves to go way higher. Look at the chart. It's ridiculous why I sell too early. I'll sell just a little bit there, and that's it. Keep going. Another cut there, another cut there. This belongs at $60, and that's where it's going long term. Agnico, this has made new highs all the time. Definitely, finally weaker than the others, right? My next trim is at all-time high. I can just see it's a bit weak. Even at $3,400, I feel like it's starting to get weak. And if there's any surprising weakness in the in gold, Agnico is going to drop. I think it's too heavy. So I just feel like gold and the mine is going to go up. So, and this is the best mine in the world. So why am I going to sell? But as we go up to new highs, I'm going to start selling this one a little bit more than I used to because I feel it's too, others are better, are going to move more. This is going to move up less and move down more than some others. Like Newmont probably is just going to outperform this whichever way gold goes. So Agnico, I've recognized that. So as we break out, I'll be trimming a bit more. Pan America is usually what I cover now. That's a silver stock though, absolute breakout, just like SIL. For me, the level was 30.50. You can see here, obvious. That's where it touched on Friday. Obvious. Next move up here. I also think a little obvious when you get there. 32, sort of 39. That's my next trim as silver goes up to test 40. Small sales on Pan America. It's worth as much as Agnico. They're worth the same that my heaviest holdings, but Pan America is going to go to 38 and 40 with silver's move. I'm just selling on it's the smallest cells. It's almost psychological, so I just trim on the levels on the way up. Maybe a little bit more there because it's a long-term descending serious resistance level, very obvious to me. And silver by then is probably exhausted a bit of a move, so I'll probably do a bit of a level sell there. But there you go, boom, boom, boom. That's like three, four levels that I'm watching on the way up. I love Pan America, absolute monster long term, no problem holding that. Now the royalties, again, we're still looking at gold, not no silver mid tiers yet. This one, maybe in one or two okay days, maybe one good day next week, it's already testing its old high. Wheaton constantly making new highs, as good as a Nico Eagle. This is the best royalty. I just sell tiny tranche, one the tiny tranche at 94.99 probably, and then let it go to 100, and then I'll probably sell at 99.99. But otherwise, still holding, 95% by the time I've sold at 100. So, long term, this just goes up. This is not the type of chart I would buy ever, but long term gold, this is just a business that only makes more and more money. So happy to hold that till the trend changes, which it won't. Franco Nevada, though, wow, how weak is that compared to Wheaton? They should be absolutely identical. So this one, I mean, the next sell I've got is all-time highs. So this one I'm probably going to hold for a few weeks until I sell. I don't really understand. There must have been bad news. If gold goes down, this will test 154 and then it will flush. So I got to watch out for that. But I'd be happy to buy a dip rather than sell at a low price. So this one, I'm just considering what to do. I'm just holding and selling there, but again, that's not going to happen for a while. It's weak, but it's not exactly stormed to new highs like Wheaton, so it's a probably better value play. I might switch a bit of Wheaton into Franco. I don't know, but I don't need to. They're both worth pretty much the same thing at the moment. Metalla, which is the other royalty, but this is like a junior royalty, which is disappointed for months and months, has actually done very well the last 1.5 months. New high close for a royalty that's pretty good, 4%. It acted like a bit of a silver stock yesterday and recently, really done well. This is good. My next sell's at 439. I remember that. Then I'll probably sell there. Little nibbles out. Zoom out. Remember where we are. This will basically get to $6. Still got 50% move in it. Probably the next couple of months. Probably by the end of this year, you've made 50% from where we are now. So I'm not in a rush to completely close the position, but I will nibble out on the levels because I remember how much it's disappointed. And then I don't know, when the move's exhausted, I'll probably close the position. I don't know. It's like trying to fall in love with it, but I just remember how much it's pained me recently. But I gotta respect the chart. New high of weekday close and just ready to keep going with gold and silver. So just putting in my small sales at every level and I got time to think about what to do with this one. Okay, now we go to the mid tiers and miscellaneous golds. Aris Mining, which has also been doing non-stop new highs, that didn't really perform too well on Friday, but I don't really have a level for this one because the chart is just absurd because of this stuff, which is good. I think we could get to 10, but it needs a better attitude. My holdings are pretty light, so I'm in no position. I'm not looking to sell it or anything like that soon. So I'll just hold and see what happens. I think gold at 3,400 and breaching that will take Aris up to 8. But long term, I'm happy to hold what I've got. If it flushes down, which I can't see happening, then I'll start to look to buy more. But it's got to drop into the mid to low fives, maybe. Just holding Aris mining. I am gold, another weak one. That's not the kind of move I was expecting. I know the damage there, we lost this level $7, just held this pretty critical gap fill, ascending horizontal level, but we didn't bounce too much given what silver's done and even gold. So for this to go back up there, you need gold at new highs, I think. So I am gold is weak, and this is one of the ones I trimmed on yesterday because I realized it's weak, even though I wouldn't normally because I think my last buy was just there, but I just for risk management. I can imagine if gold is just weak sideways, even if silver keeps going up, I can imagine iron gold actually going down. So this is weak, noticeably weak. And the only way it goes all the way back up is if gold's taken out 3,400, 3,500, making new highs. Then it just gets picked up and thrown up in the charts. But otherwise, I feel like it wants to go down, especially that Friday candle. Okay, Equinox. This one's stronger, but I wish it had a stronger close. It gave back a lot towards the end. I think it's a really good buy here. It's like confirmed long-term ascending support, and gold is actually bouncing too. So it makes sense that it bounced here, but I think you kind of need gold at 3,400 to start playing with this gap zone, and then new highs. Yeah, if gold's at 3,500. Then you're all the way back up here in Equinox, and then it'll make new highs with gold. It's 20% move. It's okay. I think long term it's going up anyway. It's just for the short term, I think it needs gold's help to go all the way back up there because that's a big drop. So it's understandable. The chart move is understandable, and the fact that it needs gold is also understandable. But I think long term it's a hold. So I'm happy to do that. B2 gold, you would have expected to move back up with gold, but it's still hanging around pretty close to its highs. Not the best candle on Friday, but I think if gold goes back up to 34, 3,500, it also makes new highs. No problem there. SBSW, I'm not sure if I should cover it anymore because it really, I mean, it is a miner, right? It does mine metals, but it's not really a gold miner, and I wouldn't even say it's a pure silver miner. It's more like palladium, platinum, and alternatives. Because I own BHP, Rio Tinto, Cameco, CCJ, and I feel like throwing these in with the commodities, but then that means I stop covering it here. I don't know if you guys would care about that. I absolutely love the stock though. I mean, look at this, 4%. I think platinum and palladium. And by the way, I was saying this, and I'm such an idiot because I bought gold on my Revolut. I've got this other account, and I was going to buy palladium instead, and I should have because look at palladium. Right, everyone's talking about platinum. Yeah, yeah, it's made a vertical move, and actually, it's looking really good. It's consolidating sideways and wants to actually make new highs. So continue the vertical move, which is really difficult to do. That's really impressive. And it looks like it wants to go, 1,500, and then we'll see about the next one. But palladium down here, taking out this level and like holding it and going back. This part here was obvious, and that's when I was thinking about literally buying palladium on Revolut. And I bought gold instead, which has gone up a tiny bit. But this started to make big moves. Like, look, today, 5%. What's going to happen? It's going to crush through this, 1,250, and then it's going to go up here to 1,500, basically. And I could have made so much. I can still make that move, but I think the fact that palladium is outperforming platinum, gold, and okay, I don't know about silver. It shouldn't be a surprise, but then again, I didn't do it, so I'm the idiot. Okay, so anyway, SBSW, that would explain that move. Also, gold, silver, and all that. Now, this is a crazy move. Look how much it didn't break down once, twice, three times, four times, and then it's just like, all right, we are getting out of this zone with the metals going up. And for me, next stop is probably $9, actually. What am I talking about? And then it's going to be this pre-$10 move. Got to watch out. If you're trying to sell at 10, you'll never get filled. This looks amazing, right? This might even be the best stock in the last couple of weeks. I don't know, which is why I don't mind covering. So SBSW is a monster. I wouldn't be buying here, but I would be selling the move up, which is what I've been doing, trimming at every level you've seen. And it's still worth, this is the way my trims work. It's worth now the same, no. I think a bit more. Yeah, yeah, a bit more, like 20 30% more than what it was worth at the bottom here. So obviously it just gets worth so much as it goes up. But then I trim, 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 trim. I've sold like, I don't know, 2 grand's worth of stock and it's still worth more than back there. I mean, if I held everything, I would have made more, but you never know when it goes back down. Overall, it works really well. I don't even know how to put my strategy, my trimming strategy on the way up. As long as you're correct long term about your thesis, of course. All right, silver stocks. First Majestic was just super strong. It wanted the reason, it got the reason, and it moved. I had $9 as a level. Why? Yeah, because of this. Didn't care about that. Straight through, and we finished, as far as I'm concerned, in the middle of no man's land. Next level is just below 10, so 980. I think I got a 979 sell or 978. And then once we cross $10, you probably got something there, by the way. But then you're just free. And by the way, now we're at double digits. I said with double digits was coming soon. And I say $14 is coming soon. And if we're at $14, that's almost like, well, that's another 30% straight away. More. Jesus, way more. What am I talking about? 50% move, probably in 2 weeks. This is one of the crazies. And yesterday it did 7.5%, and it was a bit relaxed. I think all the silver stocks were a bit relaxed compared to what we'd expect. I think the crazy move is coming, and I think this is what it looks like at the start, and it's beautiful. So next stop is 980. Then we'll probably close above 10, and then we keep going. I can't wait. It's beautiful. Look at this, how strong this bottom is. Like lower highs, and then boom, we test this high and we break out. It's the perfect breakout with the metal. Perfect. So absolutely love it. Nothing else to say except let's just watch it go. I got no buy levels and the sell levels of those little trims I just covered. Fortuna is behind the pack. Hasn't even taken out its 52-week high. Yes, it was weak. It came down too much. But those last 3 candles clearly push it out of the lows. And I think we get continuation and it should be making new highs before we hit 40. I think next week was straight away at 740. I think I got 750. I think I got a trim at 749 on this one. And then after this 750, then you got a little $8 to deal with, maybe 850. Wow, I have to add these levels. Good. And then just before 10, a few of them have a few levels just before 10. Fortuna looks great. I mean, once we take out this 760, it will look great. And I think it will outperform on Monday, Tuesday, because they have to play catch up. We don't care the fundamentals. We don't care. I don't even know much about Fortuna Mexico and license, whatever. Up you go. Up you go. End of story. Next CDE, which I would have expected to close above 970, but it was a good day, right? It was 5.5%. Um, I think we're above 10 immediately next week, and I don't think 10's a level. I think we go straight to 11. 11's a level. I think I've got a small trim at 10.99 or maybe 89. I don't know. But yeah, it looks completely set. It's one day ahead of Fortuna and it's just ready to go. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful. And if we start to move our $40, $42, this thing will go very fast, just like it did here. You're gonna have another move like this here. It's just gonna go like that. 13, 15 and retrace. Look at this chart. There's a reason it's not gonna go all the way up there, dilution and all this stuff, but it's still a technical breakout that's just happened recently. Now you got metals going up. It's gonna move. It's gonna go to 11. It's gonna go to 1250. So next week, this one continuation breakout. Fortuna will end up having this candle in probably one day if silver keeps going. First Majestic is already ahead of CDE. Can't believe I'm saying that, but it hasn't moved as much. So whatever, they can compete. I am falling in love with all of them at the moment, especially with moves like this. Heckler, exactly what we needed. That came all the way back down. Nibbled, right? Nibbled that. That's nice. Looking like a good buy. One day, but like 4-2, I expect it straight at 689. Another like 7% move. And then after that, another huge day. I'm literally, this is how I'm dreaming. One big candle there, Monday, Tuesday, big candle there. We'll see if it happens like that. But if silver continues to move like it did on Friday, that's exactly what I expect. Big candles like this, right? Even an open with a gap. So next up is 689 for me. I think I got to sell at 688 or something. And then the next levels all the way up here is 7 sort of 60. And then we've got more levels as we zoom out. But this, yeah, it's got a long way to go. And these move a lot when silver moves because their margins, I think, are all crazy. EXK, also like First Majestic, also outperforming CD. EXK was worth more than CD yesterday at one point. I had to trim it because I felt jealous. And I just like have this, I don't know, this love for CD. I can't have any other silver stock worth more than CD. This is a psychological problem I've got at the moment. Next up is basically 595. It's going to happen straight away pre-market on Monday. So the next real stop, because that's too close, is pretty much where we are anyway. The next real level is 680 pre-gap fill on EXK. Look at this, how much it moves. This one will go all the way up to 750 if silver goes to like 42.50. It'll just go all the way up. Who cares about these levels, gap fill, whatever, all eaten up on the way straight to 750. We'll probably chill out whilst gold's in this 42, 43. And if, sorry, silver's at 42, 43. And if silver starts to make a move at 50, I just feel like EXK is just going there in 1 week. You know, the 11, 12s, 13s, all this stuff. It's a crazy one. It always moves a lot when silver moves. And the chart is super bullish. I mean, they look so good. EXK Heckler, yeah, 7%. In fact, when I look at the juniors I have, they're just, some of them are red, some of them are 1%, some of them are up 10. I don't know. Like, even the juniors, they should all be up 30% or something on Friday. I just have this mixed bag of red, green, make no sense. I'm sure some of the moves are fake, like illiquid, late buy. I don't know. But these, the ones, I'm so happy I bought these because even though I was expecting 10, 12% on day like Friday, you can depend on them. 7% EXK, Heckler, 7%, First Majestic, 8, CD, 6. It's just, you can depend on it. Outperforming SILJ, obviously, which is up like 4.5. Always outperforming the miners, the ETFs. Anyway, EXK looks absolutely wonderful, and I can count on it continuing that move as silver continues. And if silver retraces, EXK will retrace. But that's why I always sell at the levels. Mag Silver, a bit like Pan America. It's a bit of a senior one, not going to move much. Um, I think wait, didn't it just get bought up by Pan America? But anyway, doesn't matter. Breakout, total breakout, like First Majestic, like EXK, even though it's a senior. This is just going up to 24. End of story because of its recent acquisition. Also, it's just good news behind it, plus the medal. It's just going to go like a magnet to its next level, which is here, which is not asking much. It's like okay, 7%, whatever. We could even do it in one day. Next week, I'm probably going to trade Mag Silver right here. That's it. That was a long video, sorry, but it was very special. I'm sure all you guys are really excited. Silver breakout's happening. The miners are following through. Gold assisted the move at the beginning. Now silver's assisting gold. It's exactly what I thought, unless I'm imagining things. And I think next week we continue. This is a real breakout. This is not a fake out. We've already had a real breakout in silver. This is just continuation of it. And now you need to start zooming out of your chart and checking out your 40 level resistance and trying to sell, I think, nibbling out of some of the miners once we have hit a bit of a high in silver, medium term high. But no rush. It's a real move. I think silver will get to 50 this year. Geez, I can't believe I said that. Yeah. No, I don't know. But it'll probably close the year in the 40s and 50 next year for sure. And the miners, the longer we stay up there, these miners, like even though I'm trimming them now, I know myself that they're going to go way higher the longer we stay. And I think we are here to stay. This is not a move where we go to 50 and you go back down to 28 or 35. Then you go to 50, you go back down to 42, and then you go towards 60, 70. And then then you can retire if you're still holding these miners. I'm just trying to be cute and sell and buy back. And to be honest, it kind of works. And in case the move fails, which I really don't believe is going to happen, I still end up in a fantastic situation. So it was an amazing week. And at the beginning of the week, it didn't look so good. So what a difference 1 or 2 days makes. But it was a Friday weekly close, so this move is real. So next week, I cannot wait to log back in. So good luck to all of us.